Okay, she was there, but anyway. Now, may I go to Satyavani Gandham? Satyavani ji, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
So very good evening and good morning and good afternoon to all of you.
Little louder, Satyavani madam.
Yeah.
And
Some
please
voice
share
is
your
coming back.
presentation.
No, some voice is coming back. Am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So good evening and good afternoon, good morning to all of you. As many of the participants are different corners of the world. So regarding myself, I'm Satyavani, working in Panchayat Raj department since 30 years. And I have been a trainer also for 10 years. And I'm doing research on various topics and authoring the books too. So as a field person, I would like to share some of my practical experiences with all of you. And is the screen visible?
Yes. Can you please make
Yeah.
it big, large?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it's okay now? Yeah. So, so gender and society. So I think in the society, the gender is the centrally organized principle through which all the societies are going ahead since through the ages. So the gender refers to the social interpretations and values which were fixed by the larger people, that how a woman should move, or how a woman should behave, or a man should behave, or a man should move, or a boy or a girl, whatever it is. So the society has given some set of parameters and interpretations that all these people should behave like a particular manner, in a particular manner. And gender is also about social relationships, that how people will move ahead with one and one in hand. So if we come to gender equality, that means the men and women have equal conditions for realizing their full human rights and full potentials. Here I have a question that does the equal conditions are sufficient for the men, for the women to realize them? Are we in that path? So maybe I think we have moved ahead to a little extent, but not to the fullest. So, the equal conditions for realizing their full human rights and potentials to engage in and contribute to political, economic, social, and cultural development, and to benefit to outcomes. That it may be of a village, it may be of a district, or it may be of a state, or it may be of a country, whatever it is. So if you take a particular area, it is a combination of both women and men and boys and girls, right? So then if we come to gender in local governance and local governments, so gender equality means more gender balance, that is equal number of women and men in local government. Here again I have a question, that equal number is enough? So becoming a sarpanch or panch, or a block president, or a Jilla Panchayat president, or assembly, a member of legislative assembly, or a member of parliament, whatever it is the equal numbers are enough without any particular knowledge, or without any proper understanding? So without any proper education, simply the equal number is enough to maintain the gender balance? I don't think so. So I have seen the last five elections cycles of PRAs since the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act in India. but the difference, I think, doesn't make that much in the rural areas. Why? Because there is no education qualification limitation to men or women. So anyone can participate. Not only that issue, and many other aspects are also there. I will discuss them in the next slide. So then, if we come to what about the good governance? So it is a subject of governance where public resources and problems are managed efficiently, effectively, and responses to the needs of the people. So now look at the women who have been elected for the local governments. Are efficient? Are effective? Are they are responding to the needs of the public in a particular manner? Does the WERs of local governments are capable to maintain the good governance? Here also a big question raises. So mainstreaming gender in local government includes meaningful representations, access and control roles in decision making, and exercise of the power and authority. So here again I have a question. Equal, what is the so meaningful representation? What is meaningful representation? So even though in India, reservation of seats for women in local governments varies from 30 to 50% across the states. Does the present reservation of seats to women in local governments leads to meaningful representation? In my view, as far as I have seen the cases across the India and across the states, I could say that with the field knowledge and the practical approach of the people, I could say it is no. Why? Because many of the women are forced to contest in elections. So as here I give you an example, the scenario where how I have seen in AP especially. So in Andhra Pradesh, the male members or the men particularly will come out and take a seat of a party, and they roam around the villages, and they look after the public in the villages, especially to provide some help or hand or service, whatever it is. So meanwhile the elections are come ahead and the reservation of seats were announced. So in a particular village where the man is accepting, man is in a scenario that he'll get seat, but that particular seat is reserved for a women, then he simply says that his wife, he simply make a contest either his wife or his mother or his sister, whoever it is. So in these scenarios, the women are forcefully thrown into the elections of the local governments. Then after elections are over, these women are not having any of idea about the administration and idea about the local governments, or neither they are fully literates. So in these scenarios, men are again come forward to run the administration on behalf of the women, and they have been called as sarpanch patis, shadow sarpanch. For the men who are running administration behalf of the women elected representatives, then the percentage of women contested their will is very less. We can say that the women who has contested the PRA elections on their own will is very less. Then the direct and indirect control of men over women. Here I'll give you an example. Where I am working right now, the sarpanch is a woman, and her husband looks after all the administration. So I have, as a trainer, I have made several requests that please allow her to run the administration. Please let her let her learn from the things. Even then, so here the husband comes forward, and the men in the women, the elder people in the village, And the other men to say that if wife is coming forward and looking after the things, what's your use here? So available in the village. Then non-participation of women in governance as a Gram Sabha members also, this is also a question mark, and this is also a thinkable point. Though the men are, though the women are became groups in the form of self-help groups or Dwakra groups or whatever it is, and under NRLM or day NRLM, whatever it is, but these people are not coming forward to participate in the Gram Sabhas where the local governance takes place as a member of it. So this is also, so here the reasons are two types. I can say as I have gone through many issues and I have divided into two types. One is lack of opportunities. So as we know, many of the women are non-literates and they don't have exposure to the worldly exposure as there is an issue of mobility and lack of proper knowledge about local governments as they are forced into the elections and lack of local examples too. So if there are there are minimal examples of local best practices where the women come forward and has taken several issues for the governance aspect and development of the governments. And here the another aspect is sharing of family responsibilities. If a woman is coming out as an elected representative, the man has to share the family responsibilities like taking care of children and taking care of the elderly people. But as far as I have seen in the villages, no man shares all these responsibilities, but the women has to look after them alone. And if we come to the gender barriers, are like their grown-up conditions, their thinking patterns and mindsets, and acceptance of gender stereotypes. So many of the women where I have seen, they simply accept their lives. This is our fate. This is what we can do. We cannot do anything else. And we have to follow follow husband footsteps, or we have to follow our elderly people footsteps in the family. Even the violence takes place, they simply gives right to the husband. So he is there as he's married to her. He has every right to hit or bash or anything else. They'll also accept that violence. And then non-breaking of self and societal barriers. They even don't think that we can grow up, we can come out, we can come and look at the society and we can make a change. They are not ready to come forward by sculpting themselves, and their living environment also matters a lot. And then comes to the power of control, always which is lied in the hands of the men of the society or the family. Then the comfort zone also makes a lot of difference. It is for women or men, especially for women, as they are in the comfort zone of the family. Why they think that why should we come out and take unnecessary headaches or unnecessary issues? Why should we deal with the unnecessary issues that they are not relevant or bothered about? And some of the women were lack of enthusiasm to shape their own lives. They are not ready to leave their comfort zone and come out and to sculpt their own lives. They simply accept whatever they have and whatever they are having and whatever the lifestyle they are having. Then in this scenario, I would like to conclude with the policy recommendations and suggestions. So focusing on gender equity at local level, because as I expressed my opinions that each and every women's scenario of living or each and every women's story is not the same. They are from the different situations and different aspects and different environments. So at the local level, gender equity should be the prime priority while making the GPDPs and whatever the plans at the local level. And focusing on gender equality should be at a state and central level. And preparation of VPRP with gender equity lens, where as far as I have seen the VPRP preparation, it is up to only desk level, not it is realistic, nor it is in a practical mode. So it is simply on the paper. So it should be prepared with the gender equity lens, as they have the vast and immense chance to look at the equitable points of every woman. And the Gram Panchayat development plan should be prepared in a more equitable way at the local, by the local governments. So fixing an education qualification to contest in the elections of the local governments is a must in the present scenario, as though the present generation of women are getting educated. There is a gap of 20% of non-literacy between the elderly generations and the present generations. So to mitigate, and as we have no age restriction, and to mitigate such issues and problems and the lack of communications and lack of will and the Sarpanchpati's hand and everything. So there should be compulsory education qualification at the local government level for the women or men who are contesting in the elections. And more policy initiatives to make elder generations women as functional literates. So they think that our age is over and we are not, why should we learn something now? So there is no necessary of the education and everything like that. So they should understand the importance of the functional literacy, and the government should take policy initiatives in this regard. So to make every woman in the village or whatever it is as a functional literate. And designing more CBNT programs on social behavior change communication and transmitting them in all TV channels and social media channels, as every family, whether they are under poverty line or above poverty line, is having access to TV channels, and everyone is having access to social media channels. So the government should focus on designing the CBNT programs and videos or modules, which will be in a short capsules, and they should be transmitted in all TV channels and social media channels. So every woman should come in a way that, as Mahatma Gandhi says, I will not allow any to walk in my mind with dirty feet. So every woman's slogan must be this slogan. And I am very grateful for giving this opportunity to me to present my small opinion or views over here across the platform. And I'm learning many things since yesterday. And thank you, Jayantaji. Thank you very much.